Back in the shop, I've got a little 2002 Honda Accord. Said he had a little sensor problem with the transmission. Wants me to flush it out a little bit. These things they only hold about 7 quarts, so we're gonna run about 6.5 quarts. We're gonna run 8 through it, which means I'm gonna have to change the fluid a few times because I think you only get 2.5 quarts out per fluid change, and so we'll run through the gears, drive it, drop it, and just follow suit until it looks good. And we know how much fluid we've gone through, and we're also going to do a wheel alignment. If you've never done a wheel alignment, I have an old school Hunter alignment rack. I've had this thing for a long time, probably 13 years. Still works. It's not the fastest, but it'll still function. It's nowhere near as fast as the laser guided. The wireless, all the fancy headed stuff now. These are old school. You got to clamp it on the rims. So you take a wheel clamp and clamp it on the wheel. I'll show you what that looks like. These are the lasers. No, these aren't wireless. I've got to drop these cords to each head. These clamps clamp to the rim, top and the bottom, and I'll set this up on a tripod and show you. Get in here. Trying to open up. I haven't used this thing in 6 months. I bet. I just don't use this alignment rack that much anymore. Rebooted the computer. We're going to begin the alignment. Hey, it worked this time. All right, we've got a Honda, so we're going to scroll down. El Hondego. We've got us an Accord, and she's an 02. All right, so what you got to do here is we gotta take all these lasers, we gotta mount them on the vehicle, gotta compensate them, which is just a calibration procedure, and I'll try to capture how that's done here. All right, when I start off with an alignment, I like to make sure all my tire pressure is equal. Got a flat tire on one side, probably gonna notice, but if it's just, maybe one of them's got 20 pounds in it, the other one's got 45 or something crazy, that's gonna throw your alignment off because one tire's gonna be taller than the other. Right at about 34 in that one. Go around and check them all, and then we're gonna calibrate heads. All right, so we've got the wheel clamp, rim clamp on the valve stem. We've got a safety catch that screws to the valve stem cap, or where the cap screws on, the end of the valve stem. And it's basically, if this thing comes undone, it protects your laser head from slamming the floor. Like a little protection. We're going to run the protection. Just clamp it. It just pinches down to the rim in between the tire and the wheel. So. And this whole thing is not a rim, by the way. People call a wheel a rim. It drives me bonkers. It's not a rim. This is the rim of a wheel. Alright, so we got the front one on. we're getting the Galston safety line attached. Good to go. And we got a cable that attaches. We're going to attach this one to this head over here. Spin you back around. This back alignment head will attach to the front. And then from here to the computer. So I've got a bad clip on this line. Let's see if it's going to focus. This thing's got a bad clip on it, so that's why I've got this bungee cord here. Kind of just position it where it won't come unhooked. If it comes unhooked, you lose all your data and you got to start over. I mean, you got to recompensate all your sensors, and that sucks. I need a new cable. I just don't do enough of these to even remember to go get one. So, I don't know. Hunter, you want to send me a cable? That'd be awesome. Everything's kind of weighted, so if you get this cord, I guess you can't even see what I'm doing here. Here, let me crank this down. Lower you down. Alright. Doesn't focus. Try to focus on my face every time I get in frame. Anyway, so this one plugs. This bottom one I've got plugged to the back wheel. This top one goes to the computer. So I already did the other side. That's plugged up. I can't film on that side. It's too tight to the wall. So what we're going to do is the computer is asking me to compensate the wheels. So what you do here. Mind all the pollen from the spring. You find center. Here, let me try to get you up where you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to get you up and then angle you down. So I can bring you in tighter. Let's get it in there tight. See that? Just pull down some with it. Alright. Knock some dust off of this thing. Let's bring it down some more. Alright, so this locks it. This locks the head in place. This unlocks it. This is the calibration button. So what you want to do, there's a level there. You get your level. I don't know if you can see that. See the bubble? Yeah, you can see that bubble. Let's move that square. Alright. Let's come on down just a little more. Alright, so alright, get it level, gets a bubble in the middle, you lock it down. See, I got one green light lit, you hit the button. When it starts flashing the red, it tells you to rotate the wheel. I've got this one a little too low. Green light comes back on again. Hit the button again. It's a 3-point compensation. Alright. Got our red flashy. Alright, well, I went too far. There. You know, level it up again, lock it. Hit the button again. When you get solid, you're good. You can unlock it. And you go around and do the rest of them like that. So, I'm not going to go super close up with this one. So that's it. You 3-point compensate all your wheels. 3-point compensate all 4 of your wheels, and I'll show you what it shows on the computer screen once I do the other side. Newer machines are so easy. The new Hunters, the clamps, instead of clamping on the rim, they clamp on the tire. It's quick, painless. They got no wires. You put the car on the ramp, on the drive-on rack, and you hang your heads, which takes like 2 minutes, and then you push the car backwards and you push the car forward, and you're done. It just bloop, calibrates all 4 at the same time, and I mean, you can knock an alignment out in 15 minutes as long as you don't have any problems with the car. They are so nice. I got the chance to use one for a few months when I was working down the road at another shop. Into last year, just for a couple months, I worked over there, and man, it was a beautiful machine. I'd love to have one in here, but it's also about a $40,000 setup. They had the Hunter alignment rack, which this is an old forward. It is an alignment rack. It's got the heads, the turn plates, all the stuff you need to do an alignment, but theirs is so nice. And LED lights, when you lift the car up, they automatically turn on, shine up on the bottom of the car. I mean, it's really nice stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video can relate. A lot of nice tire stores have the same equipment these days. But if you're not banging out alignments, man, it's just not worth it. You have to be doing a lot of alignments to pay for a piece of equipment like that. And I've got about $15,000 to $18,000 roughly. I can't remember the exact numbers when I bought this, and I bought this system used 14 years ago. So I've roughly got half of what you could buy a new machine, and I probably broke even on this machine over the years. I probably made some money off of it, but not a killing. By the time, usually what I've found in this industry is by the time you pay off your equipment, it's time to replace it. It's either outdated or it's just worn out. You'll just wear stuff out. I was fortunate enough to hang on to a couple pieces of big equipment and buy this house on this property with this little shop where I can tinker around like this and make these videos and still enjoy the automotive side of my life when I want to. I'm glad that I don't do it full time anymore. I blew my back out a couple years ago. Herniated a disc really bad. I could barely walk, could barely get in and out of the truck. Definitely couldn't work on cars. So I took some time off. Wasn't good financially, time off, but I had to, health wise. I just couldn't do it. Physically couldn't do it. So you guys take care of your bodies out there. I beat mine up, partying and hard four-wheeler riding motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles and four-wheelers my whole life. I mean, I wouldn't race professionally or anything, but just banging around all the time just beats that spine up. And you know, a lot of you guys are into sports, getting sports injuries. It's just as bad. It's the old spinal cord is it's a crazy thing, man. One little pinched nerve can cripple you, and that's what happened to me. And a couple of epidurals, a lot of taking it easy and doing a lot of stretches on an inversion table, and now I'm able to work full time. And don't do well with a lot of bending over for long periods of time. That's why I kind of got out of working on cars full time, and I did it for 28 years, and I just don't do it full time anymore. So I'm doing other things, but I am still in the service industry, repairing things for a living. It's just not stuff that's nearly as hard. I do windows and doors for a very reputable company in the Atlanta area, and I'm enjoying that. It's a lot easier on my body, but I still play, and hopefully get back into playing around with some old hot rods and drag cars here soon. That was my passion for many years. A lot of drag racing. Hung out in the drag strip all the time. Helped other teams. I had my own car. Couldn't quite afford to race as much as I wanted to once my kids came along, so I ended up selling off all my stuff. And I've got one little hot rod motor that was one of my first motors I bought when I was 18. I still have it, and I plan on revamping that into something. And we're gonna do some videos out of that, and it's gonna be fun. That's why my channel's Hot Rod Dave, man. I love hot rods, and I love working on cars. Just can't physically do it 24/7 like I used to be able to. Hell, I used to. We'd work at the dealership all week long. Every night we'd be working on a race car, and we'd go to the racetrack, race all weekend, and work on cars all weekend. And we just work on cars all the time. It was nuts. We had a lot of fun though. But anyway, I'm gonna calibrate the other side, and we're gonna show you how it functions at the computer. Okay, so what we have here is we got all the heads calibrated now, except for we have to do a caster measure, which basically means I've got to go in and turn the steering wheel to the left until it tells me to, and then to the right till it tells me to, and then center it back up, so it can kind of measure caster. But you can see before we do that what the numbers are, and camber, caster, and toe. That's your main things you're going to be looking at. That's for the front, and this is for the rear. Camber and toe. You got cross camber, but you got thrust, total thrust angle, stuff like that. But mainly what we're going to be worried about is toe right now, and hopefully everything stays in the green on our camber, and caster's going to be it's not adjustable, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to do the measure caster. I'm going to leave the camera focused on the screen because I've got to go up in the car and follow directions, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, you're not going to be able to hear me because I'm going to be in the car, but I'll come back down and discuss it. what happened was I did the caster sweep and lost my right head got out of level because I got that goofy cable over there. It gets out of level real easy, so I had to re-rig the cable because it came unplugged. So now I've got to restart. I got to start over. Got to compensate all 4 wheels again. That means I got to jack the tires back up. I got to jack the car back up so I can suspend the tires, so I can spin them. I got to basically start the whole thing, process over again. That's why this old machine is such a pain in the ass. One thing happens, you got to start over. Hour-long alignment can take you 2 to 3 hours sometimes with an old piece of crap machine. So it is what it is. I'm gonna stop this video. We're gonna start back from where we left off here, and see what happens. Hopefully we can get this thing to work right. All right, we're gonna try this again. Caster and camera's good. We're going to work on the toe a little bit. Try to get these toes as close to that black dot in the middle as we can. That's where it wants it. We do that with the tie rod end adjustments, and these were super rusty, so I hit them with some PB Blaster. Probably gonna hit them again, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna turn this camera off for a minute. All right, we've opted to use wind toe, so we're gonna adjust the right tie rod end towards 0, and we're gonna joust the front end, which is just bounce it up down a little bit, and lock it down, and then you do the other side and hope you got it straight. mess. Okay, everything looks good. Everything's in the green. It's as good as I'm gonna get this old rusty car. Let's see what the rear looks like. Toes out a little bit in the rear. Let me crawl under there and see if I can't correct it. Caleb, come over here. I'm gonna get under this car in the back and I'm gonna make an adjustment. You see what this looks like right here? See, this says tow. See it where it's in green and this one's red? I'm gonna try to move this one into the red. And I want it to be about the same as that. I want to move it from red to green. But I can't see that screen under there. I've got an adapter. I can drag a screen under there, but I don't feel like rigging it up right now. Just stand here and I'm going to get up under there and try to make an adjustment. And you just tell me what this bar is doing, what this is doing, okay? See these numbers?
Yeah.
This says 26. I want it to be in the middle. It's got to equal this one like 14 or 15 or lower. I know, it's not perfect.
So you want me to tell you this that the green's getting wider?
See the arrow? Big black arrow?
Yeah.
That's going to move as I start adjusting it. See this? See how that one's in the middle?
Yeah.
That's kind of where they really need to be. But I'm going to move this one over as close to the middle as I can. You tell me when that arrow starts moving into the middle right here. And it might change this a little bit when it does it. But I want to get this one as close in as I can.
Okay.
And this is total tow, so I want that one in the middle too. So
I'll tell you both.
yeah, just stay put right there.
In the back or front back there?
Sorry, did the front button in the back. that's good. That's even. Toes even. They're both in the green. Total toes in the green. This thing's super rusty. It's as good as I'm gonna get it.
I looked under here.
There's a lot of rust. It causes a lot of problems, especially with trying to move the suspension pieces. So this camera's rolling still. We're gonna do a lot of editing, but all right. So what we got here. What we've got, hey, come on, let's get in focus here. All right, let's get in focus. All right, I've been crawling up under this thing for the last hour trying to get this suspension adjusted, and I finally got it all on the green, so it's as close as I can get it. This old machine kind of floats around. Got the heads, the old lasers are like, yeah, it's like got cataracts or something. I don't know. You can get it pretty close. Sometimes it'll stop bugging out and hold still, and we're gonna lock everything down, go drive it, and hopefully that's all we got to do here. I mean, I PB blaster and that back tie rod end. I was having to hit it with a 5-pound sledgehammer. The rust is so bad. The joint didn't want to move. It's got a cammed headed bolt, you know. So you turn it. It's oblong, so it moves the tie rod in and out. It did not want to budge, so I finally got it to move. And as you can see, it's all in the green, and that's all that we need right there. It's all in the factory deal. So we're going to cut this camera off and go drive this thing, break everything down. That's why I hate doing alignments on this rack. I almost refuse to do them. It just takes so long. Hey, Billy girl. My baby's sitting here underneath this camera. All right. Here, I'll give you a glimpse of the girl. Bailey, come here. Bailey, come here. Bailey, come here. You won't stay in the camera. Got this thing on the tripod still. Let me unlock it. My hands are greasy. I really don't want to handle this camera. Bailey. Bailey girl. Where you going? 7 months old. 7 months old, big girl. You're 7 months old now. She is about 60 pounds. She's about 60. She may be a little more. She's a swimmer. She's a thief. But she's a good dog. She is a barker. She's a biter. She's everything. She's everything you want in a dog. Ain't that right, Betty girl? Ain't that right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, ain't nothing like a yellow lab in an automotive shop, right? Ain't nothing like a yellow lab in an automotive shop. Yeah. You don't know what that camera is? You're on YouTube, little girl. Alright. I'm gonna button this thing up. Hey, like I say in every video, please like and subscribe. Hey, I'm trying to build this channel, trying to get better. Hey, sweetheart. It's only, hey, yeah, I know, I'm sweaty. There's only so much I can do by myself as a cameraman, and especially a novice cameraman. We do appreciate it. We appreciate you watching, and hopefully you get something out of it, get some entertainment out of it. Get some knowledge out of it, and if you ever need me for anything, hit me in the comments, let me know. I'll do my best to answer it. If I don't know, I'll let you know I don't know. So have a good one until next time. Peace. Alright, so we got the Honda Drove. I had to flush the transmission on it too. I didn't video that, but got the transmission flush. We just basically just cycled fluid through it and drove it, and then flushed it and drove it and flushed it, and it's running good. No codes. I checked the codes all with the scan tool. Everything's good on that. Steering wheel's straight, drives great. Car's got right at just a touch under, just a tick under 100,000 miles. It's like 99,000 and some change. I did a time and belt water pump on that thing, I believe, about a year ago. something like that. He put a couple new tires on. That's why he wanted me to line it. It's a freaking car for a 2002 model car. I mean, it drives great. It feels like a little sports car. I mean, it's those are always good running. Old Hondas are great. The only bad thing about that car is it's got a little bit of rust on some hardware. That's it. I mean, it's not like a rusty floor pans are rusted out like an old Chevy or something. It's just the bolts and some of the suspension. It must have been up north or at the beach or something at some point, because it's just a little crusty. But a little PV blaster and a little dead blow, or not a dead blow, a little sledge. Got my tie rod end broke loose in the back, and I was having real trouble with that, moving it, trying to get the toe in on the back left. But it finally got it moved, got it tightened back down, drove it, steering wheel straight, drives like a dream. So he's dead. He is done, good to go. Hit the like button, please. Please hit the like button. Subscribe, share it, hit the bell if you want notifications for upcoming videos, which should be on a regular. We've got a pretty good roll here, and we've got a lot of material, a lot of content stacked up waiting to go. So a lot of projects waiting to go to make content out of, I guess I should say. It's got a lot. I worked all this Saturday. I mean, it's like 8 o'clock at night. I've been at it since 9 o'clock this morning. I worked all day, tried to film as much as I could. Did 3 cars. I've got a 4th one to do. I've got, man, I could work just nonstop. Especially filming. It takes, moving cameras around and taking footage off of SD cards and put it on the computer and all that. It's time consuming. Wish I had a cameraman, but I don't even make any money doing this, so I can't have a cameraman. It's just a hobby right now, and maybe it'll grow into something hopefully one day. That's what we're trying. And if you give me a like and a share and a subscribe, that would be great, and that would help this channel grow, and we're trying to get better and better as we go. All right, we appreciate you watching, and peace.